Turkey is preparing for war. Amid rising tensions in the Middle East, Recep Tayyip Erdoğan announced an increase in missile production.
We are now planning to produce missiles to raise our stockpiles of medium and long-range missiles to a deterrent level. In the near future, we will have such a powerful defense capability that no one will dare to challenge us.
But Turkey itself wouldn't mind issuing a challenge. Even without ramping up its missile production capabilities, the Turkish army is considered one of the strongest in the world and one of the few in NATO with real combat experience. What missiles does Turkey have to boast about? What is their range and which countries should prepare for a possible strike? All this and more coming up in just a moment. In recent years, Turkey's defense spending has increased. The Turkish authorities have always prioritized the military, and now more than ever, the potential is impressive for a country not at war. Although it's worth remembering that Turkish forces have been involved in operations in Syria and Libya for years. As for troop numbers, Turkey currently ranks second among European countries, surpassed only by Ukraine. Erdogan's army numbers more than 350,000 personnel. It also has one of the largest armored groups in Europe. They are equipped with more than 7,500 armored vehicles, over 2,000 tanks of various modifications, and 2,500 artillery pieces. This isn't just numbers for the sake of numbers like in Russia. All Turkish weaponry is quite new and innovative. Turkey also has a well-developed military-industrial complex, and it's not just about the production of Bayraktars, which everyone already knows about. Recently, the first Turkish-made tank, the Altay, entered pre-series production. The authorities in Ankara are also drawing on Ukraine's experience and are now actively developing the field of maritime drone production. But the most important thing for Turkey today is missiles. And they have something to boast about. This is the Typhoon ballistic missile during a test a few months ago.
Like the previous two tests, this one was also successful. Moreover, the recently released video footage clearly shows that the Turkish Typhoon missile system was able to hit a small target located in the Black Sea, which generally and reliably confirms the officially stated accuracy of this missile at approximately 10 meters.
When it comes to range, there are some interesting nuances. In September 2024, the official specifications of the Typhoon were revealed. At that time, it was stated the launch range was 280 kilometers. Not bad, but it turns out the actual distance the Typhoon can fly is completely different. During the first test launch, which took place a few years ago, the missile flew 560 kilometers, that is twice the stated range. And during the most recent launch, Turkey closed off air and sea space within a 700-kilometer radius, which generally confirms the unofficial range figure that experts have mentioned. It is possible that when they spoke of a range of 280 kilometers, they were referring to the export version. Turkey also has its own Bora tactical missile system. In fact, it is said that the Typhoon is its successor. That's why their launches are similar. The Bora entered service with the Turkish army in May 2018, and in 2019 it even saw its combat debut. This weapon was used for strikes in northern Iraq, and there the missile demonstrated high accuracy and effectiveness. It is stated that the Bora has a range of 280 kilometers and its warhead weighs 470 kilograms. But But it's not just ballistic missiles that are being developed in Turkey. The Turkish army can also boast its own long-range cruise missile, the SOM. The missile was adopted into service in 2012, but now it has been made, you could say, even more Turkish. Now, the SOM flies with a domestically produced turbojet engine and has become even more powerful.
Our national pride, the SOM hit its target precisely during test launches thanks to the domestic turbojet engine. The domestic engine and components of the SOM are not only a step forward in national technological advancement, but also the result of the work of thousands of Turkish engineers and technicians. I congratulate everyone involved in creating a truly Turkish product. We are proud of this and are moving towards new achievements.
The SOM has a range of over 275 kilometers and it is designed to strike both land and sea targets. But that's referring to the basic missile. There's also the SOM-JAI, a new generation missile intended to neutralize well-protected land and sea targets, and its range is already over 430 kilometers. The highlight of the modernization is that the missile can be controlled even after launch. The operator can change the target designation, update targets, or abort the mission, which provides operational flexibility in dynamic combat scenarios. Currently, the new SOM-JAI is equipped with a French engine, but Turkish engineers plan to switch it to domestic components. All the missiles we've discussed so far are new or relatively new. In other words, Turkey is strengthening its military power. But this may not be the limit yet. It is reported that official Ankara is also developing missiles with a range of 2,000 kilometers.
We have decided both to strengthen our stockpile of missiles with a range of over 800 kilometers and to accelerate our program for developing missiles with a range of over 2,000 kilometers.
For the missiles with a range of 800 kilometers, here, most likely Erdoğan revealed the real capabilities of the Typhoon ballistic missile, which we mentioned earlier. And such a range is indeed necessary for the Turks. After all, this NATO country wants to keep the territories of Greece with which it has tense relations, as well as Israel, with whom things are not smooth within its sides. But the desire to have a missile with a range of 2,000 kilometers is a completely different story, and possible that Russia is involved in it.
A significant range of 2,000 kilometers is already a substantial claim to regional superiority, since it effectively allows striking almost the entire extensive territory of Iran, most of Europe including the nation of Ukraine, the broader Middle East and North Africa, as well as a very significant portion of Russia, including its capital city Moscow and essentially the major city of St. Petersburg, as well as rather remote and important industrial and economic centers like Kazan, Ufa and Magnitogorsk.
And what do you think? Why does Turkey need missiles with a range of 2,000 kilometers? Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like this video. And be sure to subscribe to the Arsenal channel to learn even more.